All right, so you're welcome to Flip TV this afternoon. It's a good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and viewers watching us from across the globe. All right, so we promise to bring you up to speed with things going down in the Supreme Court in Abuja. As we speak to you, the elections matters has been treated by the Court of Law sitting in Abuja, as we have the People's Democratic Party candidate Alhaji Atiku Abubakar alongside his counterpart in the Labour Party, Mr. Peter Obi, all vying to seek a re-election, or better still, you can say annul the winner of the election that happened way back in February. It will be recalled that the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal on September 16 made sure that the ruling of INEC that have found President Bola Tinubu as the winner of that election stays. The two parties, the Labour Party and the People's Democratic Party, were happy with that, and they went on to the Supreme Court to file their cases. And today, the Supreme Court have deemed it fit to reel out its judgment on these cases, and that is what we'll be looking at here on the show this afternoon. My name is Ebuka Ezobika.
And my name is Koforiola Durotimi. Okay, so let's move into the story. The People's Democratic Party's interlocutory application to bring in new evidence, that is the President Tinubu Chicago State University certificate, ruling the jurisdiction of a court is its authority. It cannot be assumed that jurisdiction can be conferred on the court by parties.
So what that ruling simply states is that the Supreme Court is not going to accept any further evidences. I forget an article has been on this case concerning the Chicago State University of forgery of certificates he submitted to INEC. But right now, the Supreme Court is saying they would not be a party to that. For now, that they can't accept that. But the Supreme Court says they cannot do what the Court of Appeal did not do. The Supreme Court cannot invoke Section 22 of its Act after the 180 days for the trial court to deliver judgment has elapsed. Also, the Supreme Court says a petitioner cannot amend its petition after the 21 days allocated for filing petition has lapsed in line with Section 134, subsection 7 of the Electoral Act, meaning that the Supreme Court lacks jurisdiction to admit PDP's new evidence.
There is nothing in Section 285 of the Constitution that suggests that the Court of Appeal can hear election petitions without time limits. The argument by the People's Democratic Party that the Court of Appeal is not caught by the 180 days provision, since the Court of Appeal was not described as a tribunal in the Constitution, is false. The application cannot be granted. The court cannot admit the deposition. No issue for determination by the appellant points on certificate forgery. Fresh evidence is not received as a matter of cost.
So it's just buttresses the first point that the court is bringing out, saying that from what was submitted in the Court of Appeal, that there was no case of forgery, nothing like forgery, meaning that this new evidence being brought forward by the candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, it cannot stand. That is what it is trying to say. Now, it's also written there that what attempts did the PDP make in obtaining the president's certificates when INEC in June 2022 published the president form EC9 to the 21st of March 2023 when they filed when they filed their petition. Now, breaking, Supreme Court dismisses PDP application to bring in fresh evidences. The Supreme Court dismisses PDP's application to bring in fresh evidences, meaning no evidence can come in as it is. Judgment in the main appeal currently is ongoing, and as I speak to you, like we said, the judgment has already been delivered by the Supreme Court, affirming that President Bola Tinubu is the president. But we're just trying to analyze and give you a breakdown of how the judgment from the Supreme Court. Don't forget, it's a 7-man panel. The judges, 7 of them sitting to decide in this particular case, and Justice Okoro sitting as the chief of all the judges in this particular instance. Now, the petition seeking to nullify an election on grounds of non-compliance must establish it. In the judgment of the Court of Appeal, the appellants abandoned their duty to prove non-compliance. They rely solely on INEC, non-transmission of election results in real time. Failure of IREV does not stop the collection of results. Yes, this is talking about IREV. Not forgetting, this is part of the issues that was discussed, that some of the candidates of the parties, the Labour Party, were like, INEC came out to say that the elections will be uploaded in real time. And they are banking on that fact that because of the results were not uploaded in real time, caused issues to happen. But right now, the Supreme Court is saying that failure of IREV does not stop collection of results. The non-functioning of IREV may have reduced the confidence of Nigerians in the electoral system. This is what some of the parties were also saying. They also said that the unavailability of election results on IREV cannot be a ground for which an election can be nullified.
Also, it said the failure to transmit results to IREF did not affect the election. 25% of vote in the FCT. There's nothing wrong with the Court of Appeal's decision on this issue.
25% also, if you know, has been a trending issue because they are saying 25% in the FCT, because we know FCT is not part of the state in the country. But right now, the court is saying that there's nothing wrong with the court.
There's nothing wrong with the court.
What they've said concerning that issue.
Furthermore, in interpretation, the Constitution, a narrow and selfish approach should be avoided. The Constitution is for everyone, not a selected few.
Meaning everybody in Abuja counts. There is nothing special. That is what the interpretation says. There's nothing special. Just like you have in Abuja, just like you have in every other states of the Federation.
If the framers of the Constitution want to make FCT a deciding factor, they would have made it clear. The decision of the Court of Appeal is this issue is unaccessible. Striking out of PDP's witness, calling of additional witnesses cannot be entertained after the 21 days given by law to file petition has lapsed. The Section 285 of the Constitution and paragraph 45 of the first schedule of the Electoral Act 2022 cannot be amended in favor of the appellant.
All right, so moving on, still concerning the judgments of the Supreme Court, you can see that many of these cases is just like, a copy and paste of what happened in the Court of Appeal. So they're just trying to buttress many of these things. Now, striking out of PDP's witness, calling of additional witnesses cannot be entertained after the 21 days given by the law to file petition has elapsed. Yeah, so these are some of the rulings that has been given out. Now, they also said here, Section 285, subsection 5 of the Constitution and paragraph 45 of the first schedule of the Electoral Act 2022 cannot be amended in favor of the appellants. Subpoena are not a tool to circumvent the provisions of the law. Wanted both of you to be, as it is, both parties concerning the PDP and also the Labour Party, the court has been striking out many of these cases. Even the court also does, the Supreme Court striking out of PDP's witness, telling them that after the 21 days, no witness can be allowed, because what you have then in the Court of Appeal are the same evidences that you bring in the Supreme Court. So these are some of the issues that have been going down today. And want to also hear some of your submissions concerning it. Some of the talking points, basically 25% in Abuja. Those are some of the talking points, because right now the Supreme Court have made it clear that Abuja has same preference as every other state. There is nothing special about Abuja. That's talking about the FCT. So as Lagos, as Abeokuta, as Ogun, as this states, same as the FCT.
A link will be posted for you to call in and drop your comments, drop your views, your own opinion about the Supreme Court's address today. So a link will be posted now. You can decide to call in and let's hear your views as we continue.
All right, so let's hear your views as we continue on the program this afternoon. So I'm just trying to bring you up to speed with the rulings as it is. Now, the Supreme Court's environment reportedly this morning was a bit quiet. This morning, in anticipation of the ruling of the presidential election petition filed by Peter Obi of the Labour Party and also Atiku Abubakar of the People's Democratic Party against the victory of President Bola Tinubu in the February 25th election.
The political contest involving President Tinubu, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, and Peter Obi will be decided by the Supreme Court, which has been decided actually by the Supreme Court today, which is October 26th, 2023. And it will be recalled that the declaration of President Tinubu of the All Progressive Congress, APC, by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, as the winner of the presidential election has been contested by the presidential candidates of LP and PDP.
All right, so don't forget to drop your comments coming through on that particular one, as we also have informed you that the court of the Supreme Court have affirmed the mandate of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the authentic president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So Supreme Court opposed Tinubu's victory. Yeah, so that is part of the news we are bringing to you at real time. Supreme Court dismisses Atiku's appeal challenging tribunal judgment. So these are some of the issues that we are looking at this the president himself, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, we are not present in court. Yes, but party affiliates, friends, and members of these parties we are present today in courts. And outside the court too, we had the presence of security operatives that were armed, and also just to make sure that law and order abides in that particular vicinity of the Supreme Court. So don't forget that you can still drop your comments under the comment box there, on the comment section, like here on YouTube, and let's get your reactions. Yes, the court of the Supreme Court has affirmed President Bola Tinubu as the authentic president. So what do you have to say concerning the ruling of the court? Because after this, there is no more. There should be no more case anymore, because this is the end of everything.
Yes.
This is how it is. No more, or there is no other court to look up to. They have exhausted all possible options from the Court of Appeal down now to the Supreme Court. So as it is right now, President Tinubu can face the business of his mandate. So there we have it. He can focus on business right now. No more issues bothering him. He can place his focus now for the next 4 years. So how to enhance and develop the country as it is. Let's see how it goes. But don't forget, we're still waiting for your comments. And also, you can also call. The link is currently on your screens there. So let's hear from you this afternoon. We'd like to hear what you think, what you feel concerning how it all played out in the Supreme Court. It didn't take so much time, just as it was in the Court of Appeal. This one took less than an hour for the judges to come through with the judgments there.
So let's hear your views, dear esteemed viewers across the globe. Let's hear your views. You could comment, you could, call in. Okay, while we wait for your views and your comments, let's move on to another breaking news, which is Ondo State Deputy Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa holds press conference as he apologizes to Governor Akeredolu over political chaos, says there is no issue between him and the governor, but political actors capitalized on his boss absence to create crisis for their selfish interests.
Yeah, and that this is one of the lingering issues even after the governor of the state, Rotimi Akeredolu, went on his medical trip and gave power over to the deputy governor. Since then, we've been having a bit of back and forth about some things that have been going down. And in fact, not forgetting that since the governor returned to the state, he has not visited the state. He has been in Oyo, talking about Rotimi Akeredolu himself. And also an impeachment process was already in place for the governor of the deputy governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa. They started an impeachment process. At a point, it was suspended, but early this week they've resumed his impeachment process. You can say probably that is why the governor is coming. The deputy governor Lucky is coming out right now to apologize to the governor, talking about Rotimi Akeredolu and trying to say, okay, let's just work things out and settled amicably as elder statesmen that we are in the state, and also both for the party's interest, because there are talks about Lucky Aiyedatiwa also wanting to be the governor of the state. He wants to also campaign, throw in his hat to contest to be the governor of Ondo State. So, and with all these skirmishes happening between the both of them, I don't think it's healthy enough for the two of them. Something like this similarly is happening in Edo State between the governor of Edo State, Godwin Obaseki, and Philip Shuaibu, who is the deputy governor. Things like this, fights between governors and deputies, is not something that would help even the state develop as it's will. Yeah. So let's see how it is. That is basically one of the breaking news coming in as we speak to you live. So we had to break it first concerning the apology. He's going to hold a press conference very soon, talking about the deputy governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa. He's going to do the apology live on TV, just to apologize to his principal, Rotimi Akeredolu. Moving on, don't forget on YouTube there, you can also still drop your comments as it is. Then the link you can also do us. You can call us live and let's hear your opinion concerning every of these topical issues. Also, not forgetting we can also discuss the level of preparations of Atiku and Obi'S lawyers. Yes, for this case, as their submissions were easily dismissed by the Supreme Court. Because even back then, from the Court of Appeal, we saw that many of the cases that they brought in, the judges at the Court of Appeal simply were just canceling and throwing them out. And you look at the way they arrange many of their documents, the way they filed their cases, they are easily counseled by the judges. Even on Monday, the AP and the Allied People's Movement, the judges even bashed the lawyers that brought in frivolous cases, using the words of the judges, said frivolous cases, the way they brought it to the courts. That is the reason why APM withdrew their stand against the president, Shiwaju Tinubu, and also the APC. Right now, look at lawyers being brought by and also Peter Obi. Do you think, because they were easily, the cases were easily thrown out? Easily thrown out. So you think they were really prepared, or they just, gathered cases just to push to this level? What do you feel about the lawyers that they brought?
I believe the lawyers, tried their best that they could. That's like bringing in the evidence they had, and then it was easily dismissed. I guess maybe they didn't gather enough evidence or so.
So, because basically, as court works, we know you have to prove your case beyond all reasonable doubt. And I think the judges were not basically impressed with how the lawyers filed their cases. You can let us know too your thoughts concerning how the judges, or yes, on how the judges treated these issues. Yeah, how you feel about what they did. Did they, because like they said, law doesn't work with emotions. Emotions should be put aside when it concerns what happens in the law courts. Your emotions can say something else, whereas what the law says is what the judges follow. As it is written in the law book, that is how they operate. So that is one thing that I think we all should know about these particular ones that is going down in the courts. Emotions don't drive the law. The law is the law. Emotions are just basically how we feel that it should be done. Whereas, people are adding so much emotions into these particular issues.
Right, right.
And not forgetting that this will also set a legal precedence in Nigeria's political history, because it has never happened before. It has never happened before that a case
A
like
case will
this,
be dismissed that soon.
a presidential case, would be treated in court. It has not happened since democracy in 1999 up until this. This is the first time it's happening.
Yeah,
Meaning, so many things will change. Basically, um, election-wise, this issue of 25% in Abuja is one of them. I will know this has been buried. It has been
right.
buried. Yes, nobody would come again to tell us that if something like this happens in the
Mm-hmm.
nearest future, probably in the next elections, nobody will be talking, because a precedence has already been set concerning many of these things. And it beckons on INEC, the electoral body, to sit up concerning these issues of many of the cases, from governorship to the presidency to House of. Many of these cases from the elections are already in court. So it beckons on the electoral body, Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to sit up. And we're looking at the elections coming up soon in three states: Kogi, Bayelsa, and Imo
Right.
states. We're hoping that this will set as standards for forthcoming elections in other states, and also the forthcoming elections soon in the presidential level.
Okay, so I will congratulate the Tinubu. I congratulate the president, that President Tinubu, Bola Ahmed Tinubu,
Yeah,
on this victory
yeah,
in court.
yeah. And also congratulations to all APC members
APC
too.
members, yeah,
And now work starts. Yes, work have started, but right
work
now
has
we can
started.
place 100% focus
Focus on it.
on the issues that are going on in the country. Because we have so much issues that are left to be solved, and we just hope that the president does place on his focus right now. I think part of the work, that's why he's not been present in court,
Mhm.
because currently the president is in the country, but
Yeah.
with so many workloads to be done, he had to focus on issues on the ground. So we hope from here onwards we'll see, because we still have these talks still coming up on social media, even on our platforms. These talks will keep coming up.
Yep.
Feel free to keep dropping your comment. Let us know what you think concerning all of these issues, because in the coming days, this will still be a topic of discussions. The judgments being done by the judges will come also to dissect some of them as regards future occurrences as election matters arises in the country. All right, so yeah, we have it. This is it. So officially, the judges have made their statement, and pronouncement still remains that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is
The
the president
president of Nigeria.
of Nigeria. I would like to say thank you very much for watching our updates on the proceedings that happened live there at the Supreme Court, as the judges have made their final pronouncement. This is Flip TV. I want to say thank you very much for keeping it updated, and also to all you who have watched. Say thank you very much. My name is Siri Messi. Thank you.
And my name still remains Kuporala Drutumi, okay?